Here we go. What is it? 17. When this consultum senatus, this decree of the Senate, Maximinus accepted it or received it, by nature, a homo ferus, he's a bit of a wild man, he exasked that he would lit himself on fire, sick, what, such a way that not a man, but a bellowam, but a beast, you would think that he was. 2. He was Jacobating, say, himself in the walls. He was throwing himself in the walls. Non numquam of the time. So sometimes he would prostern himself to the ground. Is that a dative? He was exclaiming inconditely, in some another wild manner. He would aripia bat his sword. He would grab his sword as if he was possetting, as if he was able to occidere, to kill the senatum, the senate. He was conscindabating, so he was ripping up his regiam vestem, his royal garment, and aliquos, several other people, he was officiabating with beatings, so he was hitting people, and, unless or except, he had recessed himself out of the way, from the middle, as certain authors sunt say, he would have stulicited, he would have taken away the eyes from his adolescent son. 3. Autem, however, or moreover, the cause of his iracundia, of his anger, contra filium, against his son, haec fuit, was this. Looks like a purpose, because he had usurated, he had ordered him to go to Rome, when first factus es imperator, when first he was emperor, and he, by nimio amor, by excessive amount of love of his father, had neglecturated to do so. Pudabat autem, so however he was thinking that if he had been at Rome, the locative, the senatus, the senate, would have dared nothing. They wouldn't have dared to do all this stuff against him. So, therefore, igator, he was ardentem, burning as we saw, with iracundia, in the accusative. Present participle, that's what's going on. So his amices, these are the nominatives, they recuperated, they took the burning man, not with the fire, but you know what I mean, burning with anger, inside his cubiculum, which would be his bedroom. 5. Sed cum, but when his furor, he was not able to hold it in, or to rein it in, so that dictor oblivion, I think that's got to be, if I missed a line here or something, I think there's something missing here. Okay, no, it's just in a different order. It is said, so, blah blah blah, so that as far as what had happened, actum means happened, he was ignorant of what happened. Yeah, I think something is missing here. It says, so that he would be forgetful of he'd be oblivious of his cogitations. So I think cogitations is missing from here. Might just type it in. Oblivionem, yeah, that's correct. Cog it ationis. Is the bit about wine here missing? Yeah, the bit about wine's missing as well. So we have vino se primo dio obris edicator. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things, and I might just pause it and type it in. Okay, now that I've typed all that crap in, so that he could receive some oblivion, or be forgetful of his thoughts, with wine, vino, in that first day, primo dio. It is said that he was overwhelmed himself, overwhelmed himself, to such an extent that what was actum, what he did, he was ignorant of. There we go, there's a whole bunch of stuff missing there. Alia die, in another day, usually days are male, unless it's the day you die on an appointed day, so it must be an appointed day here. Sane just means clearly, having admitted his friends, who were not able to see him, but they were standing around silent, it looks like, and who were laudabanting, they were praised the factum senatus, the thing that the Senate did, tacite, silently, as we see there. Anyway, he held a council, or had a plan, of what opus esset, of what thing in their blade was needed, of what he should do. So again, this was in the past tense. It was done by the Senate, and here he held a plan to see what he needed to do, probably to get power back. 7, De Concilio, and then an ad. So it looks like from this plan that he'd had, this council he had, to a contionem, an assembly, he proceeded, in which contion, multa, neuter plural, many things, in with the accusative, against or towards the Afros, Africans, multa things towards Godionum, this is the guy being called emperor, and he dixit, he said, plura, many things towards or against the Senate. Cohortatus means to encourage, to his milites, his soldiers, to vindicant, this looks like a gerundive, to take a vengeance or avenge something, their communal injuries or insults. So he's trying to rile them up. Chapter 18. Finally, or in short, this contio, his assembly, all of it was of a military nature, of which this is a sample or example. Fellow soldiers, militones are the soldiers, con means together, so it means fellow soldiers. We're preferring or relaying to vobis, to you, a notam rem, a known thing. The Africans have freggeranted the fidem, they have broken their pact or their trustworthiness for quando, for whenever did they hold it. Another question. Gordianus, a senex, an old man who's debilitated and in the vicinity of death, about to die, he has subsided, taken up imperium, which is power. Another autem, however, or moreover, probably moreover, most sanctissimi PC, parta conscriptors, the senators, most holy or sanctimonious, those who et net, correlatives, both Romulus and Caesar occiterated, they killed both Caesar and Romulus, they have judicaveranted, they have judged me an enemy, to be an enemy. When pro his, for them, pugnerem, I had fought, and I had conquered for them, and vincerem would be conquered or won for them. Nec sola me, not only me, but etiam vos, but even you, et omnes, in all, comma, who have the same feeling with me, or stand with me, and Gordianos, this old senex, who's debilis, father and son, they've called Augustus's. 3, ergo, therefore, if viri estis, if you're man, if you habitus vires, if you have strength, nice little viri and vires, second and third declensions, let us go contra the Senate and the Africans. Let us go against them, of which all of their goods, habitus vos, you will have. So there's a bit of pillaging there will be. So therefore, with dato stipendia, a bit of money handed out, and indeed an ingentai amount of money, a huge amount, versus post positive, towards Rome, with his exercitu, with his army, he began to set out. And Romam doesn't take an ad. So they're all marching to Rome. 19. But Gordianus, in Africa, Primus, something first, he began to be agitated, for the first time, by a certain Capellianus, to who he had given a successor. It was a guy who was Regentai. So there was a Capellinus who had been ruling over the Moors. This is in Numidia or somewhere, and he had named a successor for him, against whom he had missited when he had sent his young son towards. Then in a most acerrima pugna, in a very fierce battle, with his son being killed, he finished off his vitam, he finished off his life himself in a noose. So he hung himself after his son died. Of course, he was present participating, he was scant, he was knowing that in Maximinius there was multum roboris, there was much strength, and in the Africans there was nothing of strength. And in fact, there was multum indeed, or to be more precisely, of perfidia. There was a lot of treachery in the Africans. So he didn't wait around and be killed, he killed himself. Then Capellinus, the victor, pro Maximin, for Maximinus, all of the Gordonani, from fear, he interreminated. He killed all of his party, all of his part, all of his people supporting him in Africa, and he proscripted. So they've been outlawed and prescribed that not to any of them should be persecuted, should be spared. Why is that thing there? And absolutely, or further on from then, he seemed, from the mind of Maximus, to do these things. So he linked his mind up in the same sort of spirit and killed them. I'm nearly done. Civitates, be cities here. Finally, in short, he subverted, overthrew cities, ripped up shrines. Farnhams are shrines, that's new to plural. And donaria, where we get donations, etc. He divided to his soldiers a lot of donations, things that he'd stolen, and plebs and principes, leaders alike, he concited. So the leaders and the common people in these cities he killed. Okay, so here's our daily dictionary word, concido. To perish, be slain, sacrificed. That's intransitive, another intransitive. Also means decline, drop, subside, fall down, faint, come to the earth, collapse. And what have we got here? Transitive. Okay, so two intransitives and a transitive of the same word, the same perfix. This one here is a supine. Beat, crop, cut it into pieces, divide, minutely, ruin, kill, destroy. So they usually mean to fall or to be beaten up. Anyway, himself, this, what's his name, Capilius guy, besides he was trying to reconcile himself to the minds of soldiers, proluding to power, making place for power, if Maximinius should have perished. So if Maximus dies, this guy was ready to take over then. Okay, that's it for the day.